Joining me on the Tarot Machine. This is your monthly love reading for the month of July 2017, and this will be for the sign of Aries. So let me go ahead and give these cards a shuffle to see what overall message you'll be working with for the month. Aries, you working with acceptance. So, for singles, it's saying if you're not in a relationship now, don't stress on it. Don't be super critical. Just accept the situation as it is. Maybe you're going through certain stuff that you may need to work out. This is for singles. There's certain stuff you may need to work out, and just accept the situation as it is. If you're talking to somebody and they're not moving as quick as you would like them to move, just accept it. Accept that the person will eventually come around within their own time of frame, or whenever they feel comfortable of presenting themselves to be in a one-on-one relationship with you. If you already joined up, what it's saying is just accept the situation, that how your relationship is going at this time. Just know that you probably been through a lot of bumpy roads, and if something negative is happening, it's just happening for this time frame, and it's probably taking you or your companion energy to just realize how things are going now in your relationship or in your current bond. So it is one of those things you have to kind of, it's one of those bite your tongue situations, and this is for singles and couple. When you accept certain things that are happening in your life right now at this moment, it's sort of biting your tongue when you really don't want to do it. But sometimes if you accept the situation of how it is right now, it will work out better in your favor in the long run, because you're not trying to hit full throttle or put the gun to it and mess it up when it should be rolling at a certain pace or a natural course so it can work itself out. That's just general. That's just a general rule of thumb and knowledge. So let me go ahead and get you some cards to see what can help you in the month. Okay. Ooh. Okay, that's what's up. Oh yeah, that's what's up. Definitely, that's what's up. Okay, Aries, it look like you got a good one jumping. So let me go ahead and bring all the positive out of this one for you. In the middle of the reading, you have the Seven of Cups in reverse. If you're single, what it's saying is during the month, you may not be getting a lot of suitors. Maybe your focus is only on one suitor that you have in mind, that you have a potential prospect for. Either somebody is doing this to you, or you doing this to somebody else, that you're super focused only on this particular one person. And is also saying maybe at this time you turning down a bunch of other stuff that's coming at you, or you already in the process of turning down different suitors that's coming to you, because you're analyzing them real quick and trying to accept certain things in your life, and maybe these extra people that may have presented themselves in the past or whatever, you're trying to home your selection down to a specific person or a specific quality that you are looking for in a person. Either you're doing this to somebody or somebody is doing this to you. It's just saying you whittling down a bunch of options in the month. If you had different options in the past, you whittle them down to the best form or the best one candidate that fits all your standards of being in a relationship with. If you are already coupled up, it's just saying that you're not trying to let a lot of stuff interfere with your bond, no matter if you're bringing it up, your companion is bringing it up, or the outside is bringing it up. You're trying not to have a lot of stuff hit your relationship that could um kind of junk the course up of how you already set up your bond with your companion. Either you're doing this with your companion or your companion is doing this to you. They're kind of shutting off a bunch of options that could be coming in, that could be a benefit or not a benefit. But it seems like you as a couple, and I'm hearing this, you as a couple is decided to take things one thing at a time once it presents itself to you. You're not trying to have the one thing get presented into your relationship. Now it went from one to three to five to eight different things, and now everything got confused when you was really supposed to work on this one initial thing in your relationship to make it better. What you have underneath you is the 10 of Pentacles in the upright. So, for singles, either somebody see this in you or you see this in somebody else, that this person that you may be meeting is a person that may be, and this is a super maybe because it's general and a lot of people watch these videos. This person that may be talking to you, or somebody may think this about you, got a whole mess of coins. This person is so financially stable that they completed that aspect of their life. Maybe they got their house together, they 401k, they got that good job, they got everything financial that is set up with this person does not need to be worked on no more. They out this person may be super financially stable and set up. Now this person may be trying to move on a different aspect, and a different aspect could be emotional thing that is lacking in their life. But financially, they're not weak. They're not weak. Either you see this in somebody you talking to, or somebody see this in you, that you um that you got your foundation so set up that it could be a benefit to them, or you, or you getting in a relationship with them that is super um um that is super solid, and you feel that's a good match for you to get with somebody that is more stable than you to help you stable out yours. That's one aspect. If you already coupled up, what it's saying is that financially, that's not an issue that's in your relationship that may be causing a certain conflict that may come up and cause some kind of disruption to your bond. It says that you as a couple worked all your physical things that could harm the relationship totally out, and both of you feel that your relationship is on solid ground. It is nothing can shake it. You know, if something comes up that's from an external thing like bills or whatever, that's covered. The home is covered. It's one of those aspects that you two work together to make solid. You know, and it's an aspect in your relationship that you don't have to even think twice about it. So that's a good sign that it's saying that your foundation as a couple is so solid, nothing can shake that. You know, that nothing can actually falter that unless something catastrophic change. And all your cards is mostly upright, so I don't think nothing from an outside source will come up in here. I will clarify the Seven of Cups in reverse, but it that something solid will not, something from the outside will not disrupt the foundation that you built as a couple. The card you have in the past position is the Six of Cups that deals with the past. So, for singles, what this is saying is that a potential person from the past might pop up, you know, or you're looking and reflecting on old characteristics from a old companion that you may be trying to throw on to a new potential person, or in the past you was thinking about a past relationship that you was in. Either you're doing this or the person you meeting has been in this sort of nefarious state about where they was with a prior person, and maybe the prior person that they was with had a bunch of coins. I mean, because the Ten of Pentacles up here, maybe they had a bunch of coins, or this person they was with, they dumped. Maybe they dumped the person because the coins was the only thing that mattered to them. They wasn't thinking about anything else emotional. Either they think this about you, or they doing this to you when it comes to this thinking about the past, or having this kind of thinking fond about a old person that you're trying to transfer on to a new person moving forward when it comes to you getting in a one-on-one relationship with somebody. What it is if you already coupled up, what it's saying is you are kind of in the past, you was probably thinking about old moves that you did as a couple that made your relationship a more emotionally stable, or more, you know, more more emotionally grounded, because financially you work the issues out. It's more of an emotional thing. It seems like that's what you're trying to carve out as a person, is something more emotional that you want to bring into the relationship. So you're going back to old, maybe old places, or you was thinking about doing old moves that you did before you as a couple was focused more on a building a solid foundation, and kind of left the love thing go to the side. But you're kind of going back to the past to see if some of those old things are still there in the relationship now, so you can kind of reignite them, or kind of um, put them back into order, or working order, or try to um, introduce them back into the relationship to see if you can build more of a emotional thing, create a tighter emotional bond with your companion. What you have above you is the Nine of Cups in the upright. So if you're single, what it's saying is either you see this in somebody, or somebody sees you, this in you. That the Nine of Cups is usually called a wish card, but to me is more of, it's more than wishes. It's more being to a state of contentment of what you emotionally built for yourself, or emotionally what you can offer to somebody else, and you are at that high level of it. Either somebody sees that in you, or you see that in somebody that, yeah, they got the coins, and now, or and they have the emotional thing that you need to help you build um a good foundation or a relationship with that person. Somebody see that in you, or you see that in them, that they're emotionally stable, they are financially stable, and they are a prime candidate for you, because you definitely is focused on them by killing out everybody that could be another potential person. You're focusing on this one person, because this one person has what you need emotionally, and they are a person that's physically set up in their own personal world, that's something you don't have to worry about, of being in a relationship with somebody and you have to carry that person's financial burdens, or they kind of ain't good with money, or you have to pick up the slack when they falling. You don't have to think about that. You found this one person that is financially, or this person found this in you, that you're that financially stable person, and your emotions is well rounded to be in a one-on-one relationship with them. If you already coupled up, what it's saying is that going to the past and maybe doing these old moves and taking one thing at a time when it comes to introducing stuff in your relationship that could be that could be a benefit for you and your companion. Either you're doing this or your companion is doing this. If you put them into sort of into the works, or you both try to work on it, it's saying that you both will be left emotionally satisfied with the results, because you both will get what you want out of the situation. If you kind of is trying to bring back a old move that worked before, that you feel it would bring some kind of rejuvenation to the relationship or your one-on-one bond with your companion, but it's saying that you will get the results that you want. It's saying whatever the results may be, hoping they'll be positive for the most part, that it will bring in what you need and what your relationship was looking for to kind of keep it going or take it to a new level when it comes to your union. The last card you have is the Two of Pentacles in the upright. Two of Pentacles, if you're single, what it's saying is that you're juggling, and I'm not going to say money because I know the Ten of Pentacles is here, and I'm not going to say money, but what I'm going to say is you may be juggling where you could fit in this person's life. If the person is emotionally got what they need, and they're emotionally and physically got all their stuff together, maybe you're juggling where you fit at in that sort of dichotomy. You kind of fitting, trying to see how you fit up in it. Maybe somebody's thinking this about you, or you doing this, trying to find. It's almost like trying to find a place of how you're going to put yourself in to be in a one-on-one relationship with this person. You're trying to figure out, okay, is my stuff two together? Do I have enough balance to put another person into the fold to be in a one-on-one relationship? You're not usually Pentacles, you balancing two physical things, but in a relationship you're balancing two dichotomies of where you supposed to fit at when you're trying to be in a one-on-one relationship with somebody. Either somebody doing this to you or you doing this to somebody else, that you're trying to figure out a way to get in where you fit in, kind of situation. You're trying to figure out, is your stuff is stable enough that you can get in a relationship with this person who already may have more stability than you, and you're trying to figure out how I can get in it, or how could I does my stuff match theirs, or does it help them or hinder them, or you're kind of you're kind of juggling your personal things to figure out where you're kind of lacking or needing, or some kind of, you're trying to juggle the whole thing of where you fit at and how you're going to fit yourself with this person that may have more to offer than you have. And that's the only way I can actually put it. It's kind of a weird way of saying it, but sometimes if you deal with a person, this is just a rule of thumb, you deal with a person that got more than you, sometimes you have to step back and see what you have that is not a hindrance to another person, or do you match this person in a certain way? So you go back and try to juggle different ideas of where you at with your finances, or your job, or your emotional stability, or where you've been at from the past, the lessons you've been in the past. Do they fit now? Did they ever fit? Would it fit in this new relationship? Would it just not work? Maybe the person be turned off of it. You juggling more personal stuff to see if you're going to go out and get in a one-on-one relationship. You're trying to figure out, if the person got more than you, where do you fit in that, and then that's making you reflect on what do you have physically around you to kind of juggle of how to place yourself in a one-on-one relationship with somebody. Either somebody doing this to you or you're doing this to somebody else. When it comes to somebody already coupled up, what it's saying is with if you're trying to interject some stuff from the past that worked in a relationship kind of way, and you're just focusing on that, it's just saying that you and your companion may find it that you will have to do some juggling when it comes to, because maybe you're working too hard to keep your foundation going, and you trying to find a way as a couple to work this one thing into your relationship, but it can cause you at the time for your relationship to kind of go off kilter. So you will be going through a period that you will be ending up, not, I ain't gonna say lose focus, but you be feeling like it's not as stable as it is, even though really it is. It's just because either you're doing this to your companion or your companion is doing this to you, that they want to interject this new thing that could bring a good emotional stability to your relationship, but the timing may be a little bit off, or that when they interject it in the relationship, now it's like one more thing on the plate. Now, how I'm going to fit this into our daily routine or our daily things that we do as a couple. So it's going to leave you off kilter, or leaving you trying to figure out how to put this new beneficial thing into the relationship and keep everything going as it is that you have it now. So, but personally, it's a good reading. So, I mean, it's a great reading, actually, because I'd rather be on that plateau myself. So, let's see with the seven of cups. um why it's you have, you closing off these options. You, one card keeps flipping, so the page of swords in reverse. So maybe for singles, maybe you cut off all these potential people. Maybe the one of the persons is one too young and did not know how to present themselves to you to be in a one-on-one relationship. So what I'm saying, the pages of swords, any swords can talk crazy, but when they in reverse, they definitely don't know how to use their words, or they talk real retarded, or they talk to a point that they don't make no sense, kind of. And maybe one of these people that you decided not to take on so many suitors in the month is because maybe one of these suitors just did not know how to present themselves to you to be in a one-on-one relationship, and this person may have been younger than you, and was just talking off the wall, and none of it was making any sense. Either you did this to somebody or somebody did this to you, that one of the suitors you dropped was a younger person that did not know how to present themselves when it came to being in a one-on-one relationship, or didn't know how to present themselves in such a way, or talk themselves in such a way that they was wanting to be in a relationship. If you already coupled up, what it's saying is that I want to say that it's a younger person in your sphere, but it's not really. It's just saying that maybe somebody gave your companion a option that it sounded too juvenile to bring into the relationship. It'd be something your relate when you've been in a relationship for a long time. It usually moves to a certain point that you kind of matured, and maybe the aspects that you wanted to bring in to the relationship, maybe one of the things that they was thinking about um, bringing into the relationship to help it be better, was one of these things that was not meant for you, because it sounded like it was meant for somebody that had a maybe a new relationship, or they just got together. It had too much of a childlike quality to it, and your relationship grew to a certain level based on years or the bumps and roads you've been into, and whatever one of these options that they wanted to bring in the table got dropped real quick, because it just didn't fit your relationship based on the years that you've been together. It was just a weird idea that was meant for somebody that had less years under the belt of being in a relationship. So it was just one of these ideas that was a little bit too kooky to do in a relationship, and it was an idea that got dropped to help the relationship. So like I said, it could be a child that you was dealing with that kind of left you, and I have to bring it out there. Maybe you have a child, and this younger child is being more feisty and stuff, and it's kind of putting a emotional wedge between you and your companion because of this child maybe being too antsy, maybe talking crazy, maybe disrespecting one of the parents, maybe it the the kid is just all over the board, and it's taking all your emotional energy to calm that kid down so you can get back to your one-on-one relationship with your companion. I have to throw that out there because it is a page, and a page do mean children, and that could just be one scenario. Since this is a general reading, it can be one scenario that you may be dealing with, that's throwing a monkey wrench in trying to have some emotional stability or some emotional one-on-one with your companion, and you decided to not take a whole mess of options because maybe you're trying to focus on how to get this one kid to act right, so you can kind of push that off the back burner and let the get that situation fixed, and then go back and work on your relationship as a couple. So I have to put that out there for somebody that may have a child that's going out of control, or is kind of putting a emotional wedge, or putting some kind of emotional burden that's making you forget, because the child could be pinning parents against each other. I'm hearing that too, taking one side and be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go to mom and forget you, dad, and or I'll forget, you know vice versa. That could be going on too, because the pages of swords in reverse definitely have a habit. Kids have a habit of doing the pen thing, and it's causing some kind of emotional strife, or emotional wedge in your union. So let me get this last card and see what you're working with. Yep, you over it. Seven of swords. No, seven of wands in reverse. So, if you're single, what what is basically saying is, usually the seven of wands in the upright is a card that you have to have your defenses up, and you no matter how a person comes at you, you gonna put the hammer on them, put the wall up, and then see if they're gonna go over that wall to still kind of pursue you or whatever. What it's saying is, you leaving everything open. You're not putting a wall up. You're not trying to be combative. If this person is going to come and talk to you, definitely this one person. If this one person is going to come and try to talk to you that you want to be in a relationship with, you're not going to put a wall up. Or another thing is, you're not going to go for anybody that you want to be in a one-on-one relationship with that's going to bring argumentation to the table as one of the formulas of a relationship. And that's definitely what I do see, that you're not trying to deal with a person that want to be combative, argumentative, definitely not younger than you, and all over the board and having different options. So you definitely want a person that is definitely not argumentative, and maybe a person sees that in you see that in a person that you're talking to, or a person talking to you see that in you, that you're a person that is less argumentative and you're not going to be arguing with people to make your stand in a relationship. So that's one scenario that is definitely coming up, that you definitely don't want to deal with any kind of argumentative person in your personal spirit when it comes to being in a one-on-one relationship um, with them. If you already coupled up, I'm getting a whole different message, but the message is that you're not, if you're trying to clear out this issue with this youngster, it's saying that you, or if this is a child, what it's saying is that you and your companion is going to definitely go ahead and talk it out and narrow it down to the best action of how to deal with this person. You're not going to try different moves to try to get this person to act right or get them in line. You and your companion is going to home it down to the nuts and bolts. It ain't going to, both of y'all is not going to argue about it. You're going to come to a good consensus on how to go about it, and maybe get this child two together and get that child in its place. But you're going to try not to bring argumentation into your relationship if it has something to do with this child, that you're trying to iron this issue out and get back to working on stuff more emotional that you feel. If it's no children in it and you're coupled up, what it's saying is every situation that's going to come up in your relationship for the month, that either your companion is bringing it to you or you bringing it to them, that can be a benefit, you going to take time to examine it, not being too combative about it, and look at it for what it's worth, and see if it's going to be a benefit to your relationship. You're not going to argue about it, but you're going to be more receptive to what they bring to the relationship, that they feel that it is a benefit for the both of you. So I hope you like this reading. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Leave your comments at the bottom. You can thumb the video up or down, and I'll talk to you later.